Hi everybody, welcome to my channel Frugalisama. My name's Sam and this is where I talk about all things sewing. And today I'm going to finally reveal what I made for the Sew Frugal 2024 challenge. So cast your mind back to the beginning of March. It seems ages and ages ago now, and I said I was going to make up some things for my upcoming trip to Spain. We had four days in Seville, 2 in Ronda and a day in Malaga, and I just needed a few little additional items to add to my holiday wardrobe. So not a capsule wardrobe, I wasn't sort of going down that route, just some additional things that I could take on my holidays. So I've been and I've come back. Can you tell by the tan? No. So yeah, I've been back about a week now, so I only really had 2 weeks and to make these items, and before I went on holiday, because I went on the 14th and came back on the 21st, so I really only had 2 weeks in March to make things. And obviously because I'm sort of hosting the challenge along with Rowan, it doesn't really matter because I'm I can't enter the competition, but I like to sew along with people and get made what I can. So cast your mind back to some of the things that I said I was going to make, and I'll start off with what's on the mannequin here, and this is the Lali dress by Tiana's Closet. So as you can see, it's got a lovely square yoked neckline here. You've got a 3/4 length puffed sleeve, and it's just gathered into this little cuff detail here, relatively short. And the ones on the website, the pictures on the website were actually featuring a lovely linen fabric. I opted for what I had in my stash because that's within the rules of the challenge. And this is it's actually a midnight blue, but I think it reads more black. It's quite a structured cotton. It's not lightweight or drapey. So that gave me a few problems with the gathering here, and on the sleeves, but not too much. It was okay. So yeah, really lovely pattern is this. This is my second sew from Tiana's Closet. I think a lot of the vloggers, it's one of the vloggers' favourites is Tiana's Closet. She's got some fairly fashion forward designs, and I think she is starting to charge for some of her patterns, quite rightly so now, but she does have quite a lot of free patterns on her website. For the size, it's got I think it's got 10 sizes. It goes from an extra small to a 5 extra large, from a 31.5 inch bust to a 47 inch bust, and I made the size medium. I have a 37 inch bust at the moment. So yeah, you can download the pattern for free off her website. She does have patterns available in A4 and A0 now, and she does offer a layered option. My advice to you would be to really know what your measurements are and just print your size, or at least your size and another size, because she includes the seam allowance on the actual printed version. So there's a cut-in line and the seam line. And if you've got all the 10 sizes on there, it's a real mess. It's a real headache to cut out. So that's my advice on that one. The frustrating thing about her patterns is it doesn't tell you how much fabric you need. So you do really need to measure out your fabric against some existing fabric and have a guess. Because I was in a rush to get things done for my holidays, I forgot to make a note of what I used, but I would say that this would have taken about 1.5 meters for the size that I made, because the sleeves are quite puffed, and the poofiness, if you like, takes up quite a lot of fabric. But I've made a little reel, which I'll link at the end, showing you, demonstrating to you what I mean about that, just to give you an idea of how to gauge how much fabric you need. The other thing is, I don't think she gives finished sizes. Now, looking at the drawings, you can see that this is fairly straight through from the bust to the hips. There's no shaping in it. The shaping for the bust is actually garnered from the gathering here at the yoke. I'll show you at the back as well, because it is square at the back. No, it isn't square at the back, I've forgotten. It's not square at the back, it's not low at the back. Like I say, it is quite short. It is supposed to be quite short. It does say in the description that it comes above the knee. I would say that it comes a good few inches above the knee on me, but I'm happy with that, but some people might not be. especially for a holiday. You know, I'm quite happy to sort of walk with bare legs and have a short skirt on. The only thing I did differently with this is I added pockets. You can see the cast pants behind me here, spoiler alert, and I had the patterns all out at the same time, and I just used the pockets from that, and I put some side pockets in here. So I don't think you can quite see, I don't think she's quite high enough. Let me just lift her up a bit. So we've got side pockets there, because what's a dress without pockets? And I know everybody likes them at the hips, but I do. Somewhere to keep my tissues and all my bits and bobs and my phone. So yeah, so there's only 11 steps on the written instructions. There's no pictorial instructions on it, and I did struggle a little bit getting that yoke in. Found a YouTube tutorial by someone called Eloise and Ezra, give you quite a full, thorough rundown of the instructions, and she does do quite a few of Tiana's closets sew along, so worth looking up for that one. Yeah, overall I think it's a lovely comfortable pattern, lovely and comfortable to wear. The pictures on the website are shown in linen, and I think I would definitely make it in a linen. It's a bit of a departure, is this colour for me. I don't wear a lot of black, especially on the top half, but for a holiday and a bit of a tan, she laughs. I think that it's fine. I quite like it. It's really nice. So yeah, I would definitely make another one. I think it's supposed to be possibly a little bit looser as well, so I might size up. I don't know. I think a linen will probably give me a little bit more ease in the weave. This is quite a stiff weave. But that's it on that one. I think I've said everything I need to say about that one. Next, on to what I'm wearing, and this is the Unfettered Patterns t-shirt dress, and I found this pattern designer just on the morning that I was recording the video, actually, for the So Frugal plans. I was wanting a t-shirt dress. I mean, you can make any t-shirt into a dress, can't you? But I was wanting something to talk about as a t-shirt dress. And I've never heard of her patterns before, or their patterns before. And she's got some really nice ones on her website, so really worth taking a look. It's just a casual t-shirt dress, a relaxed silhouette, just a knee length. I added about 3 inches to the length of mine because it's designed for somebody who is, I think it's 5'4" and I'm 5'7", so I added a further 3 inches. Again, it depends what I'm wearing, where I want things to hit. I wanted this to be a bit of a longer one. Again, it's straight through the body. Looking at my measurements, I should have come between a sort of small and a medium. I went for a medium because that's my preferred fit. I could have gone down a size if I wanted to. I think I was small in the bust and the hips and medium in the waist. She's not got a massive range of sizes, but I'll put it on the screen because I think I've forgotten to write that down. Sorry about that. So it does say that you need something with about 30 to 40% stretch. This is just a single cotton jersey. Got this and that fabric and all the fabrics that I'm going to talk about today from Fabworks. These I think I got at the same time about 2 years ago. So it's been in my stash for 2 years, and I always intend to make a t-shirt dress out of this, so I'm glad I've got it sewn up. But I did intend to make it for my trip to Greece last October. I never got around to it, so I'm really pleased that I've got this made. Yeah, it does suggest that you use a twin needle. I didn't bother. I've just done a straight stitch on there. But I like the fit of it. It's not overly baggy. It's just nice and easy to wear, nice and casual for, you know, sightseeing trip, which is what we had. Can take it day into night. I wore it all day. We sort of stayed out one day and I'm really comfortable in it. Nice to dress up or down. I just chucked on a denim jacket. In fact, I have this scarf with me. This is the scarf that I took with me, and it kind of went blended with most things that I had on holiday with me. So when it got a bit cooler on an evening, I just chucked that round my neck and wore it with my denim jacket. So I will put some photographs in of things that I had photographs of whilst I was on holiday. Other things might be just random photos that I've had to take afterwards. So yeah, I did wear this, and you can see me with my hero David Bowie in some of the pictures wearing this one. So yeah, the instructions for this are quite simple. There's only 5 instructions basically, but it is, if you've made a t-shirt before, I think you'll be okay. It's quite straightforward, and I made vast majority of it up on my overlocker, apart from the neck. I never put the neck on an overlocker. I always use I always go in with the sewing machine first, just in case I make a mess of it and I have to unpick it, because nobody likes unpicking overlocking seams, do they? Well, I don't anyway. So yeah, I had it cut out and sewn in a couple of hours. It's a really quick, simple sew, and I would highly recommend her patterns. I think a t-shirt dress is a good sampler of how people write the patterns and how they're graded and drafted. And I think this has been drafted really well. So, and she's got lots of really lovely patterns. So on to the next thing that you can see up here. Let me just go grab it. That's the Cass wide leg pants from Fabric Store. So Fabric Store's been a favourite of mine for a long time for free patterns. They are a supplier of linen fabrics, so most of their patterns have been drafted to be sewn with linen in mind, but any woven fabric will do. In this case, I've made it with a lovely cotton shirting fabric. Again, I'll say again, it looks shinier on screen than it does in real life. There is a sheen to them, but it's like a twill. It's like a shirting cotton twill. So I love these. I was never a fan of culottes for quite a long time. I always thought I'd have cold ankles, so I never made them. And then I went on to make the Helen's Closet Winslow culottes. I've made 2 pairs of those, a pair of the Abbott Seamstress culottes, and 3 pairs of the bobbins and buttons fern culottes. I pattern tested for her last year, made 3 pairs of those, and I absolutely love those. So I would say that these most closely resemble those fern culottes, but they're not as wide at the bottom. The fern culottes have got they're more of a culotte than these are more of a wide leg pant, really. In the pictures on the Fabric Store, I would say that they look more tapered than what they actually are. These are more sort of looser fitting, perfect for travelling in. I wore these on the aeroplane going in and out, and I wore them a couple of times on holiday again as well, and I wore them again yesterday, which is probably why they're looking a little bit creased. So yeah, there's some really nice details on these. I'll just take them off the hanger for you. The first one is this quite a high waist, and the instructions give you to do 2 lines of top stitching on that waist. It has a double effect. It's a design feature. It gives it kind of a paper bag waist effect, or a tiered effect is how they describe it on the website. And it also stops that elastic twisting around as well, which I quite like. I like the pockets. They do give you instructions to do top stitching down the side seams, the inseam, and the crotch seam. I ignored that. My personal choice. I didn't want to do that. I was in a rush to go on holiday, and top stitching wasn't on my agenda. On the pictures on the Fabric Store, it looks as though the hem is like an inch wide. The instructions only tell you to do a 1/2 inch, and I stuck to that 1/2 inch. I didn't want them any shorter than what they already were. So yeah, I made a size 8 to 10, which fits up to a 40-inch hip. There's about 1.5 inches at the hip and 10 inches at the waist, according to the sizing structure on the Fabric Store. One little thing about Fabric Store is you can't find the sizing until you've actually downloaded the flipping pattern. So you have to look at the pattern piece. They really need to put it on the website, but it's a free pattern. You can't really criticise them. So yeah, I made a size 8 to 10, and fits up to a 40-inch hip, which is I'm about 38-inch hip. So maybe I could have gone down a size and had a tighter fit, but I find them fits subjective, and it's up to you how you want something to fit. Like this, I could have gone down a size. These, I could have gone down a size. I could have gone up a size on that. They will still have fitted me. It depends on how I want it to look. And that's the end of that saying on that. Just need 2 to 2 3/4 yards of fabric for these. So not a lot of fabric, really, to say the wide legged, depending on your size, really. But yeah, these are perfect. I probably won't make another pair because I think 7 pairs of culottes are probably enough for one woman. So yeah, it's not that I don't recommend the pattern. I think for a free pattern, they're absolutely perfect. But I probably won't need another pair of culottes for quite a while. So on to what I didn't get made for the holidays, and that is the Edith top made by Oranges. I'm just going to pick it up. It's finished now, or she's finished now. So you've got the collar with a collar stand, you've got this placket that folds over here, and this is interface placket. You've got a yoke at the back, which I chose to put on the horizontal, and the other pieces on the vertical. I've got a seam down the back here, and I'll tell you for why in a minute. So yeah, grown on cap sleeve. It's a little bit Star Trek for me, is that cap sleeve, and I think that's the fault of the fabric rather than the pattern. And then it's got quite a long, it is quite long in the bodice. I chose to put a split hem on it so I can get my hands in my pockets, and I put like a 1 inch deep hem on there. I like a deeper hem, I think it makes it look a bit classier. So the other change that I made is that I made an enclosed yoke. So I've got a faced yoke here. Using the burrito, the famed burrito method. Now, Janet Prey invented that term, by the way, if you ever wondered where it came from. So yeah, I just decided that will give me a nicer, cleaner finish on the inside. So down to the sewing of it. So cast your mind back to my plans video when I gave the warning, don't forget to add the seam allowance. Guess which numpty forgot to add the seam allowance? Yes, me. So I picked up the collar stamp piece. I'm just going to get it for you. I thought I was prepared and I wasn't. I picked up the collar stamp piece and I thought, how the heck am I going to sew that at 1 centimetre seam allowance? So I cut all the rest of the fabric out, feeling really smug with myself because I've got loads left. I was already dreaming about what else I was going to make. And then I thought, how the heck am I going to sew that? And then the penny dropped that I've not added seam allowances, and that, my friends, is a warning to you. You know, when you're in a rush, you make mistakes, and I was in a rush to get it done for my holidays, and I didn't get it done. No big disaster really. I had plenty. My suitcase was full. But yeah, so I've finished this in my own time as I've got back from holiday, an hour here, an hour there. I recut it actually before I went on holiday because I did still dream of actually finishing it, but I didn't. If you remember also, I said on these are the instructions, which are the pictures. When I've looked closer, there's some written instructions as well. So there's 2 pages that on top of I think it was 17 pages to stick together. It's next to nothing really to stick together. But there's 2 additional pages, one with lots of instructions, lots of advice about your sizing. So the sizing goes from a UK size 6 to 8 up to a 22 to 24. So that's a 32.7 inch bust up to a 48.8 inch bust. And I made the size 40, which is the 37.4 inch bust, which ties in with my bust size. Again, straight down, so I don't really need to take a lot of notice on the waist and hips because I'm not a particularly hippie person. I could have done with those instructions underneath those pictures. That's probably what I'm going to say about that really. It's just a bit distracting having to go backwards and forwards and remembering what number you're on. The other thing is, on step 18 it says put the other stud on the collar. And that is the first mention that they make of a stud. It's not on the materials list. It's not on anywhere else. It's not the first stud, or it's just a bit odd. But if you look at the pictures, there is a stud on it. It doesn't need it, in my opinion. It doesn't really need it. So down to the fabric then. This is just a cotton, quite a stiff cotton. It's almost as if it's had some starch in it. Now with washing, oh, and it's got this lovely striped weave in it. So with washing, it might soften up, but what it's doing is making these sleeves stick out. I look like Crystal Carrington off what was it? I can't remember what it was called. You can tell me. I look like Crystal Carrington or somebody from Star Trek at the moment. I tried it on and I thought, oh no, I'm gonna take it in, but I thought I'd actually leave it for a while and just see if it softens up. If it doesn't, then I will take it in, but I think it's useful for you to see that that's how it actually turns out as well. So the recommended material is a cotton or a viscose, and I think in a viscose or even a poly or a chiffon, or something a lot lighter weight, a lot drapier, it won't do that. Adam So said it reminded him of the Donny shirt from Friday Pattern. It is similar, but I think the Friday Pattern company has more of a camp collar coming out of this placket, and it's definitely got a sewn-on sleeve, and it's much looser fit. And I think this is a lot longer in the body as well. So I'm not sure I'll make another one of those. I'm not sure. I did have a little bit of a fight getting this this pleat to sit right, and again, I think that's the instructions, because it's not very clear on what you're supposed to do. I actually reinforced around here before I started clipping into anything, and that's not in the instructions. That's just me knowing to do that because I've done that before. So probably not a beginner's pattern. I wouldn't attempt this if you've this collar if you've never put a collar in before, because the instructions just aren't clear enough. If you've never put a collar in before, I would have wanted to have put a collar in before I did this again. So that's that one. What didn't I get made? And it was very popular in the challenge, was the pom-pom waistcoat. We call them in the UK. The French call it a gilet, and in the States it's a vest, I think. So I did get it cut out, and I found this rather marvellous lining fabric amongst my stash. I think I picked it up from I did pick it up from a fabric swap. So that's the fabric cut out, and that's what the lining is going to look like. I was tempted to get it sewn up in time for the challenge, but I don't want to rush it. There are some faux welt pockets on this, and I don't want to mess them up. And I kind of thought, well, I could miss them off. I could, but I like the detail, so I'm not going to miss them off. I'm going to do it and take my time over the next couple of weeks. But I've got a wedding next Saturday, and I still haven't made the dress, so that's my first priority. So that's it from me. I hope you've enjoyed the challenge. Many thanks to all the sponsors who sponsored us once again, and all the vloggers who've taken part in the challenge. I hope you've enjoyed all the inspiration. You know, we've had over 60 vloggers. It's been quite a task for Rowan and I to deal with, and I'll be enjoying a nice peaceful Easter, and I wish you one too if you celebrate. So thank you so much for watching, and I shall speak to you later. Bye.